Prikashenya!
Mr. Tactical Bacon, back from his crusade to the Holy Land. We have special edition coming your way. What do you got there, boss?
Well, today we're going to take a look at the CZ75 Cold War commemorative. This is a CZ75 done up by CZ in the original fashion, and we're going to see how much of this Fiocchi 115 grain we can get through.
Run that rack.
Okay, we're going to go over the features of the CZ75B Cold War commemorative. This pistol is a standard CZ75B, has been done in the original fashion. What I mean by that is the factory at CZ has added a rounded trigger guard, unlike the current model CZ75B that has the Beretta style serrated front strap. They've added the original spur style hammer instead of the current ring hammer. They've added original style Soviet night sights. These aren't the normal tritium sights that you see on modern guns. These are kind of duller. They don't show up as well at night. Other than that, the controls are identical to a normal CZ75 Bravo. For aesthetics, they've gone ahead and added the red Soviet stars on each side of the slide and the hammer and sickle insignia on the right side of the handgun. On the controls of this handgun, you have the slide stop forward and the safety towards the rear. The way this handgun operates is it is a true single action double action without a decocking feature, which means that this handgun is safe to carry in the half cocked position or the fully cocked and locked position. At the half-cocked position, the safety cannot be engaged. However, from the half-cocked position, a normal double action pull is available. So right now we're going to go get the meter, test the trigger pull, and then we're going to do some more shooting.
Oh, that's a nice gun. It's just so nice. The trigger is so buttery. It's just so fun to shoot. Oh, it's just a nice gun. Yeah. Need to put some more ammo in this nice gun. Yeah. Shoot some more of this nice gun. Get some more ammo for this nice gun. Alright, I was just kidding. I was making a little bit of fun about all the other reviewers out there that talk nothing but wonderful stuff about guns that they review. So I was just kidding. Nothing but love. Alright, looking this thing over, this is the first time I've shot a CZ75. Never shot one before. I kind of like the nostalgic look of like the Soviet stars and the hammer and sickle. It looks nice. The CZ75 itself, I like how it fits in your hand. Like I've got kind of medium-sized hands and it fits really well in your hand.
What do you think about the bore axis on that gun?
Well, normally I'm a SIG guy and I shoot the SIG 226 most of the time. With this, it has a lot less muzzle flip with the bore axis being lower on it. The one thing I do like about it is this back strap. It's nice and big, keeps the meat of the top of my hand from getting chewed up. The serrations across the top of the rail, I like it. Kind of keeps the glare down on the top of the gun. The sights, they're a little small. They've got this kind of glow-in-the-dark paint on all three dots. If I had the option to put set of excess sights on it, that's what I would go with. The serrations on the side of the rail, there's not a lot of real estate there, maybe for my thumb and my index finger, and that's about it. But obviously it's because, unlike a lot of other semi-automatic handguns, the slide actually rides on the inside of the frame as opposed to a lot of other handguns. So, and that's about it. Well, I'm kind of done talking. I'm gonna put some more ammo in it and shoot some more out of it. Time to go get some more.
All right. C-75. Oh, I got that thing moving. CZ75, this is a B? B. So 16 round capacity, right? Metal magazine, these probably made by Mekgar or something like that, I'm not sure. Nice magazines. My first impressions, you know, Dog just got done talking about the sights. The sights are actually, as far as the profile of them is concerned, it's very nice. I like their setup. There's not an extreme amount of air on either side. Last couple of handguns that we've done, I really hated the sights. I think that these ones are fine. I would like to see, I get what they're going for. They're going for the old style, like what they did back then, right? Definitely outdated technology with the glow-in-the-dark paint. But that kind of works with the whole feel of the gun. However, we do see some manufacturers still doing that, which this is 2017, doesn't make sense. But the sights are great. I would like to see them removable. They look like they are actually removable. So if you buy this thing and you really hate the sights, you can change them out. I think that they're fine. But the thing that I think I really dislike about the handgun in general is the trigger. Now, what's you know, we did a weight on it. The double action we can live with. It's actually not bad from the half cock position, right? Which is the way that you're supposed to carry it, apparently. That's what the internet says anyway. Half cock, not so bad. But the problem comes, in my opinion, with the take up on the single. So back here, all of that slop right there. I'm really not a guy that complains about triggers. I shoot a stock Glock trigger all the time. This trigger's not so great. I just say maybe it's the geometry of the trigger. It's got a really steep swoop on it, as you can see. There's no serrations on it at all, so it's hard to grip, right? The other problem I have with the trigger isn't really, you know, this much. Like, we can deal with a creepy trigger, right? But this is the one that I find to have the most issue. Not there, 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 finally clicks, right? It's got a really, really long reset. You can get used to that. I mean, that's a training issue, right? If you shot this gun all the time, that wouldn't be a big deal. But if we're talking about kind of like industry standard type stuff, we're talking about a really, really long reset on that trigger. The trigger, in my opinion, could use a little bit of work. But other than that, I like the gun. It does feel very nice. The recoil impulse is straight back on the gun, and I do believe that has to do with the very, very low bore axis on the gun, especially for a hammer-fired gun. The controls, they don't, you know, I don't really use the controls on this gun because I don't really believe in manual safeties, and I don't use slide releases, so that's nothing for me. As far as the gun in general is concerned, I do know that when I work the slide, very, very little for me to work with on that. So maybe the CZ75 just isn't a good fit for my big hands. Now, if you're a little person, right, this would probably be just at home for you. But one more one more weird thing. There's a takedown pin right here that points through the receiver. It actually works pretty good for a index point for your finger there, but it may take a little bit of getting used to having that thing sticking out, jabbing you in the hand. But that's just something to think about as far as the CZ75 is concerned. So what we're gonna do, run the other 16 round magazine. This thing comes with 2. See, just very little to work with there. And we're gonna run this plate. I like your pistole.
Oh yeah, it's a beaut. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the CZ75, this particular model, in a little bit of different light than the other guys. So this is the Cold War commemorative. This is set up to be more reminiscent of how it was actually issued in the early 1970s. So this pistol does have, you know, kind of the extended hammer, but it does include the modern safety features of a firing pin block.
Probably can't get that close.
Yeah, I'm in macro.
All right.
It switched to macro when it zoomed in on your hand.
All right, cool.
So this weapon can be carried with the hammer down. We went ahead and tested that, and it does appear to have this block. However, according to the internet, this is the proper way to carry it. If you're not really sure on what your CZ75 is, maybe it's a clone, maybe it's an original surplus, this is always a safe bet. So how am I going to talk about this in a different light? Well, what I mean by that is, if you buy this pistol, most people who will get this buy it because it's the Cold War commemorative. So it's set up for that kind of nostalgic Cold War feeling. The trigger. Yeah, the trigger is kind of creepy. Has a lot of take up. If you don't like that and you want a CZ75, then they make the Omega. So the Omega trigger has a different feel to it. Different carry positions and the single action safety. If you don't like that, then they have models such as their BD or their SP01 series that replaces this with the decocker, so you can carry it like a SIG. So really, when you look at these pistols, there's a lot of options in the same platform. And if you like the way it shoots, you can go ahead and get something that is either a little bit more modern or a little bit more antique-y. We're gonna go ahead and show you something. This is not a CZ75 mag. This is a Canic mag. This is actually the range mag. This is the one we eject, punt, and leave it on the range in the weather. Just so it's
Science
and shit. So, CZ75.
But if you were like end of world, had to,
You could use it.
you could totally use it. It's a little sluggish.
But it's better than loading them in one by one. Well, that's really all I got. I got another magazine I'm going to go ahead and pump through at these targets. And we'll see you later.